Win the incredible Steigercraft 21DB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple-species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today. The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency and Okuma.
Hey folks, Fred Golofaro here for this week's video fishing forecast, and fall striper runs in full swing along the South Shore. A lot of fish being jigged, schoolies on up to 30 pounds, but most of the bigger fish are being caught trolling on mojo rigs and bunker spoons, and that fishing's going on basically from east of Fire Island Inlet all the way down through Debs, past Debs, and to Ambrose Channel. So now's the time you want to get in on some good bass fishing. Things will be settling down a little bit after all that northeast wind early in the week, so might be a good opportunity, although it is going to get cold. These dropping water temperatures also moving blackfish into a higher gear. Some bigger blackfish, still a lot of shorts, but some bigger blackfish mixed in, and that's going on all around the island, East End, North Shore, and on the South Shore wrecks. And a lot of folks have been clamoring for colder weather. Well, be careful what you ask for, because this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, temperatures dipping down into the 20s, and if you're planning on fishing Saturday or Sunday morning, there's a good chance you're going to find some skim ice on your boat. So be careful climbing aboard. Out on the East End, striped bass finally taking a back seat, primarily to blackfish, but also sea bass. A lot of big sea bass being caught between Block Island and Fisher's Island, and blackfishing again. Water temperatures dropping, blackfishing is only getting better. Still a lot of albies in Montauk and up on the North Fork, at least before all that northeast wind. Hasn't settled down enough yet to see if they're still around. It is getting late, but the water was really warm, so a very good chance they'll still be around come the weekend. Down along the South Shore, like I said, the striper run's definitely on. Lots of fish jigging east of the inlet, and it seems the further west you go, the more fish down that way are being caught on the spoons and mojo rigs. But I did talk to someone yesterday who was out in the morning out of Debs Inlet, and they got on a lot of fish on live bunker, fishing the bunker schools. Bunker schools are down deep. You don't really see them. You got to mark them on your recorder, but they drop down, snag a bunker, drop it right back down to the bottom, and between two guys they had like a dozen fish up to 30 pounds. So something else you can keep an eye on. And I am starting to see gannets along the beach, so there is big bait out there. Inside the bays and inlets, still some good fishing going on, especially the bars like the West Bar and Fire Island and Jones Inlets. Clam chumming, taking quite a few fish there, and back around the bridges. Live eels at night in the inlets and back bays, taking some decent fish. Just had the Riverview tournament this past Tuesday, Election Day, and we had 325 anglers. Participation was down a little bit, I think primarily because of the weather forecast. It was snotty, northeast winds, lumpy seas, and pretty raw out, cloudy, rain late in the day. But some impressive fish caught nonetheless. And again, the bigger fish were on the mojo rigs and spoons. First place was Matt Kohler with a 41.2 pounder. That was worth $4,450. Chris Kayaza, 41 pounder, worth $2,670. And Paul Batter with a 40 pounder, worth $1,780. There were 12 places. When the 12th place fish, there was actually a tie, 2 29-pounders, so everything was between that 29 to 41 and change. Quite a few fish in the 30s, mid-30s entered into the contest. Offshore wreck trips along the South Shore, jumbo sea bass, still some porgies mixing in, and some good black fishing too on the wrecks now. Up on the North Shore, stripers and blackfish kind of sharing the spotlight. Increasing numbers of bass, but most of the bass are small, schoolies, maybe up to 26 inches, a few fish up to 30 inches. They're along the sound beaches, and They're also in the harbors and out in the rips, and look for that jigging up there in the sound of places like buoy 13 and 11B to get going pretty soon as those fish work their way back to the Hudson River. More quality blackfish now being caught again. Water temperatures drop and those fish are becoming more active. So between blackfish and bass, I think you can find some action this weekend if you're willing to brave the cold. Some of the better blackfish spots, Pea Island, Huckleberry Island, and Execution Light to the west, 11B, and then down off Oldfield producing some decent blackfishing. Like I said, a lot of shorts, but decent numbers of bigger fish now. Also, these falling water temperatures, finally, a lot of squid showing up in a lot of the North Shore harbors, most of the North Shore harbors, in fact. You want to get to that below 60 degrees, that 60 degree mark before they show up. I was kind of wondering if they'd show up at all this fall, and they've shown up in force. I'm getting some great reports just since the weekend on squid. Places like Cold Spring Harbor and Huntington Harbor, even Mount Sinai Harbor. So they're spread all along the North Shore. Something good to do if you have a dock with good lighting, bright lights shining down into the water. You might want to check it out one of these nights. In the surf, Montauk in the South Shore, there are fish. I don't know if I'd call it a good fall run, but there are fish. Again, mostly small fish. In fact, almost all small fish from what I'm seeing and hearing. Most of the bass are under 26 inches. You get a few fish, legal size 28 inches, maybe 30 inches mixed in. But just as an example, I've talked to guys that have 30 and 40 fish and no keepers or one keeper. So it's kind of what we expected. Those real good year classes from the Hudson and also the Chesapeake. I did expect to see more of those 28 to 32 inch fish in the fishery, but they don't seem to be as available as I was really expecting. Maybe they're being caught up already. Once they get to that legal size, the commercial size is 28 to 38 inches. That's their slot. So maybe those fish are being taken out of the fishery. But lots of the smaller fish, 12 to 24, 26 inches around North Shore, South Shore, and Montauk. Still the best bet, if you want to get some surf action and you don't want to deal with all those little bass, is the North Fork from Kenny's Beach, South Hole beaches, Kenny's, Horton's, and out to Truman's, Rocky Point, Greenport beaches. Still, this week, a nice mix of big bluefish, bass, and albies out there. So if you want to make the run out east, I think that's probably your best bet if you're looking for action. North Shore, decent number of bass, again, all small along the sound beaches and in the harbors, most 12 to 24 inches. As I said, Rocky Point to Wading River, there's been a few better fish up into the mid-teens caught on pencil poppers at daybreak, but not a lot. You got to work for them. And some very scattered bluefish action up there. And boat or surf, there's so few bluefish being caught. As an example, the Riverview tournament, over 100 boats, not one bluefish caught during the tournament. So, everybody's concerned about striped bass, but I think we got a problem with bluefish. There are just not a lot of bluefish around. Very scattered areas with patches of bluefish. But the bluefish can affect the striped bass fishing too, especially the surf fishing. The bluefish push the bait around, they keep the bait moving, they push it inshore. Bass are lazy, they like to pick up the pieces after the bluefish tear into bait. And if you think back to when we had a lot of good blitzes, there are always bluefish around. Which kind of fires up the bass, puts them on the feed too. So that's I think that's a factor in the lackluster bass fishing also. And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, like I said, it's going to be cold on the water. But Hooks for Heroes is holding a fundraiser. It's at the Jetty Bar and Grill at 832 West Beach Street in Long Beach. This is an organization that raises money for veterans and first responders. It gets them out on fishing trips, help them deal with some of the stress that comes with these jobs, and it's great therapy, as anyone that fishes knows. And it runs from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a $50 donation at the door, but there's going to be live music, an open bar, a full buffet, raffles, Chinese auction. Sounds like a really good time, and you'll be putting in money to a good cause. So you can check that out, and that's this Saturday, Hooks for Heroes. Hey, until next week, stay warm. Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Win the incredible Steigercraft 21DB Miami, powered by a Yamaha 200, in the ultimate season-long multiple species subscriber-only fishing competition, the Fisherman's 2017 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Go to thefisherman.com and enter today.